So I just found out Carolyn's got to go in the nursing home, and she's just too old and frail to live off grid. Now, she will argue with that, but I don't know what choice we have. Sorry that we're not walking around the yard and showing you all the cool stuff, but it's been raining almost nonstop for almost a week and a half, 2 weeks. Cleared up a little bit yesterday, but it's right back to raining again today. So I'm gonna stay under the porch and try to make this video. So as you know, Carolyn and I live off grid in this little tiny house, and I've never been happier, and I don't think she's ever been happier either. We have everything we need, everything we want, and we don't have to stress about life anymore. And so I've been trying to advocate that everybody should try to reduce their life a little bit, minimize their needs and their belongings, minimize their house, minimize everything. And the less you have, the happier you are. I mean, think about it. You buy a car so you can go back and forth to work. So you spend $40,000 on a car, $20,000, whatever it is you spend on a car. So you go to work so you can pay for the car. I mean, what kind of sense does that make? I get up in the morning, I go to work, go get my eggs, come back up to the house, cook the eggs. Really, the chickens is pretty much the only responsibility we have. We can our food, can our meat now. So, I mean, there's some work involved, but it's all about us. It's not about serving someone else. So Carolyn's 61, so she'd still be working if we were working for an employer, I should say, if we were still working for an employer. When we met, she was working. She's worked all her life. So she's paid into Social Security and Medicaid, Medicare, whatever that is. All that's been paid into. Now, no matter what I say about Social Security, somebody's going to say, oh, no, you need to do it this way. But we're probably going to have her draw Social Security next year. We've talked about it a lot. So that means that when she draws the Social Security, that's her money. She paid into it. This is not money that taxpayers are funding. I understand what people are going to say is it's a Ponzi scheme and all that, but she's paid into it. She deserves to get it back, just like everybody else. So she'll get her Social Security back, Medicaid, Medicare, and all her medical bills, I guess, be taken care of then, however all that works. But Carolyn and I don't go to the doctor. We haven't been to the doctor in years. Last time I went to the doctor was urgent care. I had a rash. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me, so that was the last time I decided to go. Prior to that, the only time I went to a doctor was because someone called an ambulance on me. I had a sinus infection, and I passed out from it, and somebody called my ex-wife called the ambulance. That was $2,000 to find out I had a sinus infection. And then when I get old, of course, I'll collect Social Security also. I'm still paying into it. Make these YouTube videos, and I'm not going to get into that again because nobody seems to understand that when you're self-employed, you actually have to pay more into Social Security. So I'll get Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. And of course, we have a savings account, and the whole purpose of the savings account is, one, for an emergency, or two, for a retirement. As easy it is to make YouTube videos, as long as YouTube is around, or Rumble, or some other site that I can make money making videos, I'll make videos for as long as I can talk, I suppose, and it will pay some sort of income. So I don't feel like that we've checked out of society completely. We still contribute, we still make money, and we're not asking anybody to take care of us. So the other day, I made a video where I was talking about that we don't need to spend money to be happy. And I still completely agree with that statement. We are happy. We stay here. We don't go out to the movies. We don't go out to the malls. We don't do anything. Once a month, we go to Save-A-Lot. We buy some food. We don't have to buy food. I explained all that in the video. We spend $200 a month for food. But again, we could just eat chickens and eggs and all that, and we'd be fine. I was trying to combine two scenarios into one video. SHTF, if something happened, our life would go on pretty undisturbed. We'd have to change a few things, but not too much. And we just continue on. SHTF being stuff hits the fan. Electric goes out around here. We don't even know about it until it comes back on and somebody posts it on Facebook. Electric went out. In the video, I was trying to convince people that spending money is an addiction. And Carolyn and I have figured out how to get away from the addiction. Being here makes us happy. Collecting eggs makes us happy. Raising chickens makes us happy. We got this stray cat that came around, I guess earlier this summer. She's finally come into the house, and she comes in on her own. This morning, I let her out so she'd go to the bathroom, and she pounded on the screen door so I would let her back in. Carolyn absolutely loves this cat. It's just a little piece of happiness. Today, she was changing the bed sheets, and she told the cat to get down. Skitty, get down. Well, the cat was very upset with her. And I've never seen Carolyn so upset And I walked in the house and said, what's wrong? And she was upset about the cat being upset with her. So, you know, the little things around here makes us so happy. I mean, I enjoy the cat too, and I can live without or with a pet. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like animals a lot, but these little things nowadays give us a lot of joy. We feed her chicken. So we can the chicken, we buy the chicken at the store, or we butcher our chickens, we can it up, and now we feed her chicken. Well, it's cheaper to feed her the chicken than it is to go out and buy 9 lives or canned meat. Of course, we still feed her the dry food, so she can always have dry food anytime she wants. But 2 times a day, we give her a couple forkfuls of chicken. And of course, when ham is being served, the cat just goes nuts. She loves ham. Well, Carolyn's like, oh, we shouldn't feed her. We shouldn't feed her this. We're spoiling her. Well, why not? Why can't we spoil her? We have nothing else going on. This is a perfect life. So if we want to spoil a cat to give us joy, let's spoil the cat. After I made that video, somebody said that I was lying. Well, what they did was they took my video out of context. Now, they watched the whole video. It was obvious based on the comment. They took the whole video out of context. And basically they were saying we can live without money ever. And he said, in today's society, you cannot live without money. You have to have money. If you go to the doctor, you're going to have money. If you want a tooth pulled, you got to have money. It's just not possible. So he twisted everything I was saying. Now, in the video, there was one point where I said we could live without money. I said it once. After reviewing the video, I realized, well, maybe that's not what I meant in a normal society. What I was trying to imply is if SHTF were to happen, we could live without money. We could do fine. Of course, yes, we get sick. I guess that's the end of us. But remember, we don't go to the doctor. There are worse things in life than dying. What about if you get a terminal illness? Well, if we get a terminal illness, well, it's my time to go. That being said, Carolyn's going to collect Medicaid and Social Security and all that next year. So if she gets an illness, we can take her to the doctor and use the insurance that she has paid into. This guy says you live a sad and pathetic life, not doing anything. And that's what I was trying to say is all this spending money is an addiction. You may see it as a sad and pathetic life, but you haven't tried it. The only thing that you have tried is spending money, and you seem to think that makes you happy. Well, in the video, I said the folks who are addicted to spending money probably do it out of loneliness or some sort of other thing. And Carolyn said, right there, that's what triggered the guy, is he is lonely and he has nothing else in his life. He's maybe in a marriage that he's not really excited about. The kids are grown. He doesn't have a cat that he's just absolutely enthralled with. So the only thing he's really got is maybe his tool shed. So he buys something off Amazon and takes it out to the tool shed, and that supposedly makes you happy. Or you buy a car. I mean, I bought this truck, and oh man, I love this truck. Don't get me wrong, I still love the truck. When it's new, you got that feeling. And so when you get a new tool, you got that feeling. Or you get off that addiction, buying these things really doesn't satisfy me anymore. I don't need the satisfaction. I look forward to staying here. You may think it's pathetic and sad, but it's not. So then he said, have you ever thought about what's going to happen to Carolyn when you die? I'd like to see that video. Well, I've made videos like that, but you know, he's too busy spending money and criticizing to learn anything. He doesn't want to take the time to look at the videos that I already made. But yes, I have considered it a lot. Now, what she's going to have to do is get on welfare. Well, no, she doesn't have to get on welfare. What she can do is start living off the savings if she needs money. But I don't know why she would have to change her life much from what we already have. You know, she'll have the chickens, and about the only thing with the chickens is she probably wouldn't butcher them. I don't know, maybe she'd hire a kid around here or something to butcher them, or who knows what she would do if she wanted to butcher them. But she may not butcher them. I don't think she's into butchering her, you know, doing it herself. But she could do everything else here. She knows how to make electricity, and she does the laundry. I mean, heck, she does, it seems to me, 90% of the chores around here. I know somebody's gonna say, she does all the work. I do the work also. She does a lot of things around here. taking up my chores would be no different than me taking up her chores if something happened to her. She's not frail, and she loves living here. For some reason, people seem to think I'm forcing her to live here. This was her idea. So if I were to die today, she could live off the savings that we have until she started collecting Social Security, and then she'd have the medical and everything she needed. Well, heck, I mean, if she had a minor problem now, we could get her to the doctor and we could use our savings. She broke an arm. You can negotiate your price at a hospital if you're paying with cash. The only reason people get triggered by my videos is because they can't fathom how to do it. I remember when I was a nomad, we lived in a pop-up camper, and then somebody burned down a pop-up camper, and then we lived in the back of the truck. We built that truck camper, and we did that, for 3 or 4 years. I remember one person saying that they couldn't do it because they couldn't sell their tools. They couldn't get rid of their tools. The tools were important to them. So their issue is they can't enjoy life because they're afraid to give up something. What I would suggest is, if you're that worried about trying something new in life, get yourself a storage locker, or maybe you got a friend or a relative that you can take your tools over to and say, hey, can you go into these for a while? I'm going to try something. I want to see if I can live free and happy. I think there's a thing out there for me, but if I don't like it, I'd like to be able to return to my tools. And what will happen is you will like this, and eventually you'll forget about the tools. I had tools, had lots of tools. I had firearms, I had a reloader. I still got that. That's at Mom's house. Was worried just as much as anybody else about giving all that up. But we hit the road, and it was okay. There was things about it that we enjoyed a lot, but of course there was a lot of people out there. We did the next best thing, which ended up being the best thing, which was living here independently and free and happy. I think the reason this guy got triggered is, yeah, he may be lonely. I think the bigger issue is he's just scared. He's scared to try something that he's always wanted to do. He's scared to step outside his comfort zone. He's scared not to be making money. He's scared, and as a result, instead of just saying, okay, I'm scared, and analyzing themselves, they lash out at the people who are doing it. Well, you can't do it because of XYZ. So if you click this up next box, it'll take you to a video that I made yesterday. So I hope I can inspire you. Stop being scared and live your dreams. Thanks for watching.